Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into level 150, a true level 150, against PKA Shanks for the new free-to-play Gordon. And in today's video, I have 3 teams for you guys that can take down level 150 with a friend captain Uta without the new batch, but then 2 teams that don't use a friend captain at all. So, if you enjoy the video, go down there, belt the like button. If you're new to the channel or you haven't done so already, hit that big red subscribe button. Let me know what level you guys are up to on PKA. Obviously, you guys want to hit level 150, and then you can sort of just farm level 90 if you want to get some rewards and get some drops. Ideally, you should be farming the mini-bosses on a very low level. You can do the final boss as well on a low level too if you want to get your totals faster. But ideally, keep the mini-bosses low so you can just farm totals throughout the season. And that way you can get to the 500 totals for the Chopper Man rewards. Nice and simple. But with that said, let's take a look at the teams. Before we do that, I would highly recommend you guys focus on Usopp statues. Along the map and along the pathway, focus on Usopp. As you can see, my Usopp's level 50 with this recording. So that way your Sai characters get a much needed buff. So that way they can do a lot of damage on the final stage. This particular PKA season is actually pretty toxic. It is not a fun time. Even if you have Uta, the new batch, Fuji, and Borsalino, it's a very challenging PKA because there's a lot of very annoying gimmicks like blow away on your bottom row, captain swap, shenanigans, and all that sort of stuff. Hopefully you guys have some of the characters in today's video, but if you don't, let me know in the comment section below what you guys are missing, and we can try and find some substitute supports. But let's dive into the first team. Alright, here we go. Level 150 against Shanks. First team is led by the Queen Super Tandem Nami, and in this particular team, we're utilizing a friend captain Shanks crew. So that is the team. Those are the supports. Let's dive on in. Now, this particular team does take a little bit of stall, and it also takes us abusing the captain swap mechanic by putting Luffy in our middle right-hand slot. You do need Luffy to be 6+ for this particular team to actually work, as Luffy 6+ can remove Despair, rather than removing Bind and Special Reverse like his 6-star does. You could try and use something like Roger for this particular team if you have your own Uta. Obviously, Uta is going to work exceptional in that particular spot. But if you have Uta, you probably don't need Shanks crew as well. But this particular team is designed for a no new batch, no Uta, Fuji, or Borsalino, and no Momo. I do know a lot of people are struggling without having Momo. And Momo just is fantastic for this kind of stuff. As you guys know, I like to run Momo teams as my mini-boss fights, and then for level 90 after I actually take down level 150, which I'll put up a video after this as well. But on stage 3, we come up against Yasop. Now, Yasop blows away our bottom 2 characters. Super Sugo Yamato and the free-to-play Frankie from Arena are immune to blow away. And if you're running Nami as your captain, you get a lot of tandem orbs, as you guys can see. And that way you can easily get the 2 tandem orbs to get through the barrier. Against Ben Beckman and Lucky Roo, if they do not captain swap you to your middle right-hand socket, or character I should say, you want to reload the app as soon as you see that swap. Just like I am doing right here. That way, when you reload the game, it'll always swap to your middle right. And for us, that's going to be our 6+ Gear 5 Luffy. On this particular stage, they also give you special binds, and then they give you 1 turn of special reverse. It's very, very annoying, the combination of special reverse and special bind, because if you don't have a unit that has special bind and special reverse sailor, you're not going to be able to get around both. On top of that, the character needs to remove special bind and remove special reverse. Plus, then when you're doing shenanigans with captain swaps and crewmates are getting like thrown out the window, it's very, very annoying. However, Shanks crew can completely avoid that special bind, and then Nami becoming a sailor gives her this special reverse as a sailor, so that way she can get her cooldowns back and give everyone else their cooldowns. Utilizing Nami here also removes the damage reduction, which is super nice. And then to remove the attack down, we have a combination of Tashigi on our Zoro, as well as the free-to-play Frankie. Now, if you guys don't have Tashigi, you can use support rare recruit Brook on Nami. That's also going to work here. To get around the block loads, we're going to use our Shanks crew special. Shanks crew is going to give us color affinity and a 3-turn or 4-turn chain lock because he's our captain. And then if you really want to, you can use Yamato here for additional damage. But as you guys will see, we have plenty of damage without it, so you don't really need to. And ideally, you don't want the Wano Orbs, because we're going to have the Luffy special on the final stage. Yamato's just here because she can use that weird samurai support for base stats, as you guys will see trigger right here. Plus, she is immune to blow away. If you don't have that base stat support, let me know in the comment section below if this team actually still works. You might just have to wait until you build up your Sai statues. Like I said, focusing on Usopp is going to be the play here, because remember, you only have to beat this once. And you can just continue to build it up, build it up, build it up. Over time, you can use stuff like Sanji, you can use stuff like Usopp himself to reduce the HP of Shanks, because this, like, the HP of Shanks is just massive. As you guys can see here, I actually need to use the rush special of Luffy. I do miss, so that way I get the final tap anyway. Because with Luffy, he does like 3 times the chain, and that way that final tap with Luffy just goes insanely hard. You don't lose all your HP, so that way you can tank the 80k that Shanks throws at you when he dies. He also has resilience, but with Shanks' crew, we have end of turn damage, and that way you can actually get around that. So as you can see, super annoying fight with a lot of HP. So managing to get it done without an Uta, without a batch, and without Momo was quite challenging, but still managed to get it done. On to the next team. The next team has a little bit more damage output and has a lot more boosted characters. The team looks a little bit like this, and I have showcased this team on the channel already at level 100 plus, I believe. But that's the team. Those are the supports. Let's dive in. If I haven't showcased this team, it would be a team that looks very much like it that doesn't use Hiyori. Now, I did bring Hiyori into this particular team because you can utilize her special to not only remove the special binds, but she can also give you 3 turns of a chain boost. We are using Verse Whitebeard, a Rainbow Verse Whitebeard, as a matter of fact, as our friend captain. So that way we get access to his Super Tandem ability. Ideally, on the first 2 stages, you want to try and get a Tandem Orb somewhere that is not Judge Sanji. So that way when you get to stage 3, you'll have the 2 Tandem Orbs with the one that you save, and then the swap from Sanji and Judge. That way you don't need to use the Luffy special here, but if you do not get a Tandem Orb, you can easily use the Luffy special with the Beppo support to actually give yourself a Tandem Orb there. You want to be hitting your perfects as well, so that way you're building up the versatility of Whitebeard. As you can see, I've got it to 5 charges by the time we enter stage 4, because once again, we're going to abuse that captain swap mechanic. We have Momo in our middle right-hand column this time. Having Momo in the middle right-hand column means that we can actually swap into captain with him. If you don't, you can close the app and then reopen it. That would, just like you saw in the last clip. But having Momo as captain is so important for this team because Momo will give you a super type, plus he is immune to bind. We're actually going to stall 1 turn on this stage, but we're going to use this turn to actually build up the rest of our Whitebeard versatility. So as you guys will see here, I do hit a couple perfects. I use the Momo super type on this turn to give us a full board of Wano orbs through the block orbs. However, I did switch with Judge Sanji, so that way I can actually get a Tandem Orb for the Super Tandem on the final stage. After we pass the turn, Ben Beckman actually binds us, and then Lucky Roo will actually give you end of turn damage. So because we have Momo as captain, we actually don't have to worry about the bind. It works exceptionally well. And then we can basically just get rid of the rest of the shenanigans on this particular turn. Switch with Whitebeard and Marco, so you have a Sai unit, use their special, so that way you can heal back up. You can also remove the block orbs. Well, you don't actually need to. You basically just use them to heal and then go into their dual form so they do a little more damage. Then switch with Judge Sanji, so you get the Tandem Orb again, use their special for the 3-turn Powerhouse and Fighter Orb boost. Use the double special of Hiyori, so that way you can get the 3-turn chain boost. Make sure you guys are doing the double special, very important there. You then want to use Momo to remove the attack down and the damage reduction, the versatility of Whitebeard for color affinity, and then if you still have the Luffy special, use the Luffy special to actually increase Momo's attack boost, which works exceptionally well. On the final stage against Shanks now, you literally don't have to do anything. You get Despaired, it gets completely removed thanks to Whitebeard, thanks to Luffy. You could probably use the 6-star Luffy for this one as well, because Whitebeard removes Despair. As you guys see there, I actually tap with Hiyori first, then I tap with Whitebeard moving into the Super Tandem. Once again, I need the rush of Luffy, but I do just miss, so that way I don't lose a lot of HP. But with this team, you actually can hit your perfects with the rush. You have so much HP with the Luffy-Whitebeard combination that you can actually hit your rush, and it actually will be quite effective. So that was the team. Works quite well whether you have a 6-star Luffy or a 6+ Luffy. Both of them should work. Just as long as he does become your captain, that is basically like the big play there. As you can see, we have a lot of boosted characters here too. You're going to get a lot of extra drops, which is nice. But the downside is you do need Whitebeard to be rainbowed or have his Super Tandem level 5, so you actually get access to that. Let's move on to the final team. The final team looks a little bit like this. It's led by Momo this time. So if you guys are looking to actually get some EXP, as well as finding an Uta friend captain, you guys can do something like this. So that was the team. Those are the supports. Let's dive in. We aren't using any of the batch because I'm not summoning. As you guys know, if you guys checked out that I'm not summoning till New Year's video, you guys will know that I haven't summoned at all on this Uta and Fuji Borsalino banner. But there are some Uta friend captains going around. Uta's a very popular character. Everyone loves Uta. So lots of people are still summoning for her. Utilizing Momo as captain means that we actually get his special to pop off on turn 1. And that way we can sort of just tap the Wano Orb, so that way we can just wave clear. On turn 2, we're actually going to utilize the Gordon we get from this particular event. The only reason we have Gordon on this team is to give us Tandem Orbs, cooldown to Yamato. But the real reason he's here is to activate the super type of Uta with Luffy. If you don't have 6+ Luffy, you can use 6-star Luffy for this particular team. It definitely will work. You can then replace Frankie. You don't really need Frankie on this team then, but Frankie is level limit break 5. I do want to preface that. Frankie's level limit break 5. I would highly recommend using your green tickets if you are an endgame player for this Frankie. He's very, very good. He's a fantastic Straw Hat character, as you guys can see on stage 3 against Yasop. We don't have to worry about the blowaway on Yamato, but we do lose Gordon. That's okay. We activate the super type of Momo, and that way we can actually kill Yasop with Barrier Pen from Frankie. Like I said, Frankie's level limit break 5. Make sure to max him out. He's very, very good. On the Ben Beckman Lucky Roo stage, we are going to abuse the captain swap once again. I did try and find a way to build a team without that, and look, I'm sure it can be done, but the finicky mechanics of this content made it so challenging to do so. I basically am just going to say to everyone, just cop the captain swap. Just reload the game. Use it to your advantage. It's just going to save you a monster headache. Like I said, though, if you guys don't have 6+ Luffy, you can use 6-star Luffy, because Uta does remove Despair. On stage 3 against Yasop as well, we did use the Uta special. Very important that you actually do that, so that way you can actually get the conditional boost for the final stage. And that way you get the buffed conditional boost as well. Having Luffy swap into our captain as well just means we get a much higher captain ability as well. Again, if you have 6-star Luffy, he will work. But in my opinion, I just like 6+ Luffy so much more. His versatility of being an attack booster and orb booster is really nice. But for this team, you really only need him for an orb boost on the final stage. Holy crap, can you hurry up, game? God damn. This is taking forever. There we go. But you only need him for an orb boost on this final stage. And with 6-star Gear 5, you actually get a bigger color affinity boost. So if you guys don't have Frankie maxed out, you definitely can just run any other Straw Hat there. And that's going to work absolutely fine. You just need to have 3. Momo, Yamato, they trigger the other 2. Like, you just need a Straw Hat there. If there's like a... I guess you could probably run... no, I don't even think Sanji's a 3-turn chain boundary. The special reverse kind of cucks you a little bit too. If you can just run anyone that gives you a 3-turn buff that isn't something you already have, like 3 turns of base stats, 3 turns of chain boosting or chain boundary, that could help the team out. But otherwise, it's not going to matter too much. Now, as you guys can see here, I actually managed to kill Ben Beckman through block orbs. And then I hit with Luffy, and then I like have Uta, so much damage on that stage, even with the block orbs. I don't even bother removing them. And the reason I do that is because on the final stage against Shanks, if you use an attack or orb boost, he gives you super block slots. It's a little bit annoying, but like Gear 5, 6+ doesn't really care. He doesn't really care about it too much. The downside is if you ran the 6-star Luffy, you would need to get the Wano Orbs. You would need to use Yamato on the previous turn, keep the Wano Orbs, so that you don't have to worry about the super block shenanigans. That is something to note. But with this team, we do want Psy Orbs because Luffy makes them 2.75 rather than the Wano Orbs being 2.5. Now, I hit a great there, but as you can see, even without the rush, we have plenty of damage, and we actually managed to take out Shanks fairly nicely with a lot of HP as well. So that was that's the Uta team. That's going to wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff for me. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.